Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast. I'm joined by my co-colleague, Philip Conley, for a brand new episode. It's been a busy week here in Cork. The team are away. Unfortunately, we couldn't record a show early in the week just due to work commitments from all of us. But we are here and we are bringing you a fresh episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast, brought to you by Manscaped.com. Do check out the 4.0 package. And yes, guys, as always, we have that promo code. It is WrestleSlam. So use WrestleSlam to get 20% off, free delivery as well. And a big thanks to our, show sponsors, Manscaped.com, for coming on board as always. We also have to give a quick shout out to the Macau Sporting Club as well, the home of wrestling when it comes to screenings in Cork. So do check out the Macau Casino in the heart of Cork City, where you will find live pay-per-views, in-house, in person, and live on the big screen. MacauCasinoCork.com. So it's been an interesting week, Phil. There's obviously a lot of stuff, and as always, we check in with WrestlingInc.com for all the updates. News breaking right now: the doctor involved in the CM Punk and Cole Cabana trial reportedly leaves WWE. Robbie Roode, aka Robert Roode, apparently undergoes a medical procedure. I think it's a spine issue. All Elite Wrestling, the Dynamite viewership is down due to the fact that Hurricane Ian kicked off. Obviously, there was a lot of coverage with that. Crowbar names, like I know Crowbar in WCW was very close with Daphne. He said that she could light up a room. And obviously he praised, massive tribute to her. Mero apparently calls out the All Elite team, saying he's pissed off with the lack of TV time. So that's interesting to see what would happen there. It seems like he's pissed off. Maybe he's a Triple H guy, who knows? And also Leah Rush, injured again apparently, Phil. Injured again, which is incredible.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, he seems to have a lot of injuries for a young guy, It's a shame because he gets on a bit of a run and then he kind of gets halted, But interesting to see what will come out of that as well, because I think he was taking a lot of bookings via the indie circuit, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But let's go straight to Raw, Phil. Raw it's been decent the last few weeks. I think Triple H has taken over, and to be fair, it's been good. I've been impressed with NXT as well. But did you get a chance to catch up on Raw? Did you see the highlights? Did you get a chance to see the stories and what's happening? I'm liking the whole Balor angle as well.
Yeah, there was talk yesterday of Balor's going to be in a huge role moving forward. We were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I love the whole Bailey Bianca stuff from Raw.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's bits I don't like with Omos and stuff like that. But overall, Raw's improved tenfold.
Are you surprised Omos is still there? Because there was talks he was going to leave after Mania, but he's still a big deal. I think they're really they're using him half decent at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, there's something you can do with him, but it's just very hard because these days big men, people, and they don't even think about it. They just shit all over him for no reason.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. What was trending this week on Raw, Phil, was obviously the return of a female, Candice LeRae. She overcame Nikki Ash. But I think, did you notice at the end the whole Nikki Ash gimmick? I think she was in the ring. Someone took a picture and it looked like we might be seeing the end of Nikki Ash.
It's a good thing. Break away from. Thing is, it actually made her star on the roster, so it's very hard to say get rid of it or keep it, or you know what I mean. So I'd be in favor of a more serious Nikki Ash.
Yeah, like a heel turn.
Heel turn, just more like, I suppose, human, serious contender for championships.
So a solo Nikki Ash rather than teaming up with someone. You'd much rather a solo dominant Nikki Ash.
Yeah, and not Nikki Ash or Nikki Cross from the Sanity days. I think that's
done.
That's done.
Yeah, but she can't be repackaged. Obviously, look, she was repackaged to Nikki Ash, but she's a former champion. People forget that as well.
Yeah, and Money in the Bank case winner, and she did a lot in a year there last year.
She has. She must be very likable backstage, and she's obviously a lovely character. We've been lucky enough to meet her in person. But yeah, interesting. Obviously, we've seen Kevin Owens and Johnny G versus Alpha Academy. I'm liking the whole Alpha Academy, Phil. I really am. I think there's potential there for them to become champs. I really do. I think they're a good mix. Obviously, we've seen AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. Obviously, there was a bit of beef there with with AJ and Balor recently as well. But obviously, Edge returns. He's making a lot of returns, Phil, isn't he? A lot of returns. But
I think a lot of people are just happy he's not the White Rabbit.
what's your take on that White Rabbit? Who are we going to see? Is it just something that's blown up, or is it the case of look, it's Bray Wyatt, or it's someone else?
I think it has to be Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
There's no other way. I think people will just be so deflated if it's someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Like Edge came back on Raw, was trending, and people were thinking it was him, and it was mad.
Yeah, I know.
Like, people legit thought it was him. Like there was guys broke down stuff, and it's like they couldn't do that. They really couldn't.
Yeah, and like my opinion on this White Rabbit thing, I think it's all going to be revealed at Extreme Rules. I think that's probably the time. If it's Bray Wyatt, given the old Extreme background and all that, maybe it's where we're going to see the biggest hint of them all. Maybe he returns, or maybe it's the case of the biggest hit will drop, where something will happen in the arena, and then Raw, SmackDown, they'll be dispensed.
Yeah, exactly. I think that they should do something like that where they hint rather than him coming out.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So yeah, Raw was half decent this week. Obviously, Raw guys will be recorded. It's going to be tonight, so we're doing the show Friday this week, but Raw will be tonight. I will be watching that myself. But yeah, I suppose Raw's been decent the last few weeks. Obviously, the stuff with Balor and Edge to me is exciting. I think that's something that can be really good. Although there's a kind of a bit of beef there with AJ and Finn Balor too, so that'll be interesting to see what happens.
That's the thing. Like, is AJ going to join him?
It's interesting to see what will happen. But like you mentioned yesterday to me, like you could see Triple H bring the Bullet Club back, and I think that would be epic. I think that's what we need to see.
That's the thing. Like, do the lads kick out the lad Priest and Ripley and bring in the Good Brothers?
It's doable because then you have a second fashion. Then you know what I mean. That means you could have someone else like I'm absolutely obsessed with Damian Priest. I think he's incredible. I think he's really got this look about him. Rhea Ripley is a star in the making, and mark my words, in the next 12 months, she's going to be champion. I'm telling you, there's going to be an angle change somewhere down the road here, and she's going to be champ.
100%.
She's got everything, absolutely everything, and she's a person that works really hard. You know what I mean? So I can see the dominance. You know what I mean? I can really see Dominic win a belt. You know what I mean? Like maybe US belt or something like that, and then she's going to have a belt, and it's going to be absolute dominance. But you mentioned Bayley, Phil, and I've really liked the Bayley that's returned. Obviously, the feuds with Bianca, Alexa Bliss, Asuka. Obviously, look, Dakota Kai, look, Bayley's returned, and she's really looking good, isn't she?
Oh, do you know, if she's definitely coming to her own, and she's so good now on the microphone, and she's almost there for the full package, I suppose. I'd be absolutely delighted if the rumors are true and she's main eventing at the next one.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. Like, she had a big setback. Obviously, there was a big injury, but look, she's come back, and I must say, Phil, she's been incredible. She has been incredible. We're big fans. We're big Bayley fans, so it's all a win.
You were lucky to meet her twice.
Yeah, we were. We met her in Dublin, up in Smiths. That was the first time, and then the second time, then I got to interview her at WrestleMania. But yeah, lovely girl, absolute lovely girl. And look, we know she's a hardcore wrestling fan. She's a hardcore wrestling fan.
Speaking of Bayley, her buddy Sasha Banks removed all WWE stuff from her.
Yeah, I see that. What's the Philip Connolly take on this? Because look, we were nearly certain that she'd come back with Triple H in charge, and obviously Stephanie there, and we know they're big fans. But it seems to me that Sasha Banks may not be coming back.
Yeah, it looks like she's done. I wouldn't say 100%, but definitely in the 90s.
Yeah. And what's the story with Naomi? Any status there?
Nothing, but like she should be in the Bloodline.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Badly, she should be in the Bloodline.
Do you think having a girl in the Bloodline will make a difference? Do you think
yeah, I mean, it adds to the fact that Ronda Rousey can feud with them then. Yeah,
that'll be interesting. And obviously, are they married? Did Naomi marry?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're as you say, that'd be interesting if she had the belt. That'd be complete domination, and then give Sami Zayn the belt then as well. That would be fucking epic. What's your thoughts on Sami in the Bloodline? I think he's a breath of fresh air, isn't he?
Yeah, this whole thing is superb.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a storyline that is good and it continues on for months rather than just a couple of episodes, which wasn't happening under Vince McMahon. And this thing is completely now just took off. And you know what? I wouldn't be opposed to Sami Zayn beating Roman Reigns down the line.
I don't think anyone is. Like, he's a Canadian. We all love Rami. So like it's he's, what is he, 38?
He's younger than that, I'd say.
Yeah, he's got everything. Do you know what I mean? A Canadian, an awesome name. We all love Sami Zayn. He's active for a long time. It's over 20 years. I think he made that debut back in 2002. I know he was in Ireland for a while. He's a breath of fresh air, and I think you're right. He's a member of the Bloodline, but imagine Sami as champion. I think nobody would not want that. Everyone would want that, and the pops he gets are incredible. He gets really good pops.
Yeah, I think it's coming. It has to come because he's worked so hard for so long that there has to be a reward for him.
Yeah, and like he's a good wrestler, Phil. There's no doubt about it. Like he really is. He deserves a lot of time on his show because we all like him. But like he's just a really good guy. He was incredible in Ring of Honor. I think he was a World Television Champion. He was a World Tag Team Champion with obviously Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen back then. He's an NXT champion. He's a 3-time Intercontinental Champion. A Slammy Award. But yeah, I like, there was talks himself and Kevin Owens were going to be tag team, and we're all for that. But I'd like to see maybe Roman turning him at some stage. The Bloodline turning him, and then he goes away and wins the belt.
Yeah, I think he's going to go. I think that match could happen at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens and Sami versus Usos.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of history there between the two of them, So it'll be great to see what does happen. Was it? No belt to it.
I was just going to say, even Sami Zayn beating Reigns if it's not even for a belt.
Yeah,
just to win.
Definitely. What's your talking Kevin Owens? Like, there's a lot of people talking shit about Kevin Owens at the moment, saying same old Kevin Owens. He's only floating about, like. But like, we all love Kevin Owens, but you think he's could have taken a step back after that Austin match?
I was thinking about Kevin Owens the other night because I was thinking the way he's acting is the way he's about to turn heel.
Yeah.
But I hope they don't.
Yeah. Like, where does he go if he turns heel? Who does he go after?
Gargano, it looks like.
Yeah.
Which could be a very good feud. I have no hassle about it, but I think I'd rather see Kevin Owens and Zayn versus Usos.
Yeah. And what about Ciampa? Do you think they could fucking do something with him?
Like, he's really lost the ball.
Yeah, because he was really good. Like, some great promos backstage, and then obviously, look, he had some good matches. But obviously, then shit's kind of changed, and then I thought it'd go more in his favor with Triple H in charge. It
seems to have got backwards in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
it's nothing kind of major, like, because Miz is in this thing with Loomis.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Which I think they need to pull the trigger on. This thing about him stalking him has gone on just that bit too long.
Yeah. It was good though at the start, wasn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. Like, it was something different for sure. But
we just need to see a conclusion.
It feels like it's gone on too long that he's been onto the ring twice.
Yeah.
Also as well, I was listening to someone on about it at a podcast about people would what's the word I'm looking for? People would like restraining order. That's the one.
Yeah.
You'd get a restraining order against someone who was doing that shit to you.
Yeah, you would. In real life, definitely.
Well, if you're a wrestling fan, you get it. Like, but if you're someone who's just kind of coming in to watch the show, you're going, "What the fuck's this?"
Yeah, no, it's true. It's fucking true. It's scary, but it's good. It's good. I must say.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I suppose that's touch base. Obviously SmackDown will be tonight. SmackDown is obviously something that we love watching as well.
Just to add SmackDown, they just added a 6-man to Extreme Rules.
Yeah, I've seen that. So do you want to announce it?
I suppose a Donnybrook match, which we saw one. Didn't we see one a few weeks back with Drew and Sheamus?
Yeah.
So Sheamus's lackeys versus Gunter and Imperium.
Going to be a good match, I'd say. Good match. You know
It'll
what I mean?
be very good. The whole card looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been a great feud, to be fair, you know. It really has.
I think they're just prolonging the Sheamus. Is Sheamus going to beat Gunter in the end? I don't know.
I think he will.
He might. It's very possible, all right.
I think he will, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously we have a couple of matches announced for Extreme Rules, and we will talk about that. So obviously, Edge versus Balor in an I Quit match. That would be an absolute fucking blessing and a half. That would be. Obviously we have Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross, a strap match. Phil, that will be interesting. Obviously, as you said, the Brawling Brutes versus obviously, you know what I mean, the boys. They look so good though.
Yeah, it's
Imperium look. They're just fucking. They look really good, like, you know.
Very really hard hitting, just full in your face, brawling weapons. It'll be good, good fun.
Yeah. And it seems to me like that Pete Dunne's making that transformation back to Pete Dunne.
Yeah, I think by Royal Rumble-ish we might get that.
Yeah. Are we gonna see Ronda Rousey defeat Liv Morgan?
Do you know, I was thinking Liv was going to win for a long time, but now I don't anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I think it's time just to end this experiment.
Yeah,
it's not working.
Definitely. Obviously, we have Riddle versus Seth Rollins with Matt Riddle. We can officially call him Matt Riddle again. He locks arms with Seth freaking Rollins inside the fight pit. I reckon Matt Riddle might win this one, Phil.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think he's going to win it, you know.
I think he needs it more than Seth Rollins.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously Bianca Belair versus Bayley, ladder match. I think Bayley's going to
main event, which
that means to me Bayley's going to win.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
There's rumors that Charlotte's coming back, so
yeah. Now well, I hope she comes back. I know she's took a break and she's deserved it, you know. But I'm just actually on WWE.com, right?
Yeah.
And there's an archive of Extreme Rules past results, and it says July 19th, 2020, and there he is, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend.
Yeah.
On the website.
Yeah, and if you just go onto the main page, he's just there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Interesting. I believe in all them little hints. Do you?
Oh yeah, sure. There's even little hints of like lanterns and stuff on the posters.
Yeah, there is. I don't know. Does he come back? Does he come back as the Fiend, or does he come back as Bray Wyatt?
There's rumors that he's some sort of rabbit. It looks terrifying to me when I was looking at it.
Yeah. He's very Triple H said in an interview there recently, he was in the UK, that he's like creatively he's dangerous in a good way.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
He really is, you know. So it'll be interesting. I think it's going to come. Don't forget, guys, that event October 8th will be live at the Maco Sporting Club, aka the Maco Casino Cork. It's free entry. It's obviously strictly over 18s, and that will be on a Saturday night, guys. So make sure you check out Extreme Rules live and on the big screen on Saturday, October 8th, from about midnight onwards at the Maco Sporting Club, brought to you by Sports Matters and WrestleSlam, the podcast. So Extreme Rules live at the Maco Sporting Club. Do check it out. So Phil, do you think we should touch base with NXT? It's been decent the last couple of weeks.
The big news is the Black and Gold is back, but the big news is that I've heard yesterday is Mandy Rose is moving to the main roster.
It's about time. She's been very dominant in NXT, and she really has done well to repackage herself.
She's going to lose the belt. It looks like she's going to lose the belt to Kaylee Ray, but she's been repackaged to some. What's her name again? She got repackaged to a new name.
Oh yeah,
Alba something.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's going to lose the title to her, I think, at the next Halloween Havoc.
And Kaylee Ray, obviously, she's been quite quiet these last few months. Obviously, we know she's there, but do you think she's going to lose the belt to her? Yeah.
It looks like she's fighting her next.
Yeah.
Because she's calling her out and setting stuff on fire and going mad.
Yeah.
That's a good thing because she's talented.
And she's only 30, which is mental, Kaylee Ray. Like she's we obviously met her at in the hotel at the NXT Performance Center prior to going out there. But she's a lovely lady. She's wrestling on OTT. Obviously she's from Paisley, United Kingdom, built from Johnstown, Scotland.
That was kind of mad actually when she just kind of walked over and said, "Lads, where's that thing?"
Yeah, it was surreal because we knew her from OTT, but obviously that was private. You know what I mean? She was obviously, that was
like she knew we were going there because we tripods and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but she's obviously an NXT UK champion, Phil. So like she's a great ring performer. She's obviously dedicated, and she's a great wrestler.
How do you pronounce her new name?
Her new name now, is it?
Yeah.
Alba Fry, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Alba Fry. Yeah, Alba Fry.
That's the one.
I don't like the way they changed the name, to be honest. I don't like it one bit.
That was done ages ago. That could re-change again.
It's fucking shocking, and I'm going to say it out loud. I want this to be on a Twitter page. I don't like the way you change the name, Kelly Ray. Do you know what I mean? It's to Alba Fry or Frey. It's just it's I don't get it, like, you know what I mean? Because our real name is Kelly, you know what I mean? Or Kayla. It depends on where you, like in Ireland, we'd say Kelly or Kayla, you know? So interesting, but she's definitely destined for great stuff. And we if Manny's to lose the belt, Phil, I think maybe that's the way she should lose it.
Yeah. The other thing as well, did you see Steiner's match promo?
I did. What do you think of it?
I thought it was funny, but like it's a bit overdone, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Tim sent it to me. I was like, no way he did that.
Yeah, Tim is he spots things, but yeah, it was just, I don't know, it's interesting, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then fucking Idia and Jordan Devlin are fighting Braun for the belt.
That'd be unbelievable, though.
Is this the end of Braun's reign?
Do you think JP McDonough wins, aka Jordan Devlin?
I'd say Braun retains, but I'd love if he won.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to change his name back to Jordan Devlin, given the fact he's a former champion, like, you know what I mean?
It's a way better name. Like, just, I don't know. Is that his real name? JD McDonough?
I don't think so. I'll have a look there. I'm curious, actually.
Yeah, because like usually they do something small like that.
No, he actually is Jordan Devlin. So yeah, I was thinking that. Currently signed, obviously, we know that. But yeah, like Jordan's 32, obviously, Bray, County Wicklow, we knew that. Trained by Balor and Mr. Paul Tracy. Very young, but like his match there with Tyler Bate was fucking epic. It was one of the matches I actually stayed up to watch. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Do you know what I mean?
It's going to be an interesting few weeks though, because next week's a huge week for wrestling.
It is. But like,
yeah.
No, belt away.
No, I was just going to say next week you have Extreme Rules, but before that you have Bound for Glory, which should be another epic one from Impact.
Yeah. And for all the wrestling fans, we have to quickly mention Trey Miguel will be on with us early next week. So do stay tuned for our interview with Trey Miguel, and that will be the build up to Bound for Glory. So yeah, like, you know what? What's your, like, we're obviously going to switch from WWE to Impact Wrestling, but what's your take on Impact at the moment, Phil?
I was really liking it over the summer, and then something happened recently where it kind of just, I wouldn't say nosedive, but it kind of fell a bit off the wave. But then they had their special last week, and that was great.
Yeah, no, it was, wasn't it?
Bobby Fish, nice surprise.
I was very surprised at that, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe he tried to contact Triple H. Triple H said, "There's nothing."
Yeah,
he must have reached out to him.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, wasn't it? Because obviously he's a Triple H guy, like.
Yeah, and the only thing I'm worried about Impact at the moment is a lot of their contracts are coming up. I've said it before; they're going to lose easily 10 wrestlers in the next few months.
You think so?
Big time. Deonna Purrazzo, the biggest one.
Where's she going to go?
That's the thing.
Highest bidder.
Well, I was saying to the lads the last time she was on Dynamite and she got no reactions. So is she thinking NXT is better for her?
Well, she has unfinished business, and you know, in previous interviews with Deonna, she's mentioned NXT a few times to me. You know, she's not afraid to talk about it. You know.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
There's just people like that, and then there's people like Maria Kanellis, and the Good Brothers are already gone, so it's kind of their roster is thinning at the moment already. So
yeah.
And Mia Yim is also up as well. She'll also be probably leaving.
Were you happy with the Good Brothers' run in Impact? Obviously, look, we know they could have dipped into All Elite as well for the Forbidden Door, but do you think it was a good run?
The best they could, I'd say.
Yeah.
Where they go next, though, is the question.
Remains
I'd love
be
to see
seen.
them back in WWE, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, there's room there for tag teams, definitely.
Yeah. I really like.
Yeah, yeah. No, why do you think they left in the first place?
For Impact.
No, WWE.
Unhappiness, I guess.
Yeah.
But weren't they they were very unhappy, but weren't they also like released under them fucking ridiculous 40 they released 40 wrestlers at one point.
They were, yeah, the cut.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And it was just unfortunate at that time, I suppose, on the roster and on TV they were kind of mediocre, like they were kind of only being used mid-table, like
and
where
McMahon didn't fancy them, so
yeah. I'd say Triple H fancies them, though.
well, they look like, do you know what? They look like a proper tag team, and that's what I love about them.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Love about them.
Definitely. So we'll stick with Bound for Glory, will we?
Yeah, go for it there. Go through the match card now, and we'll.
Yeah. So obviously, guys, it is going to be happening October 7th. The main event is going to be incredible. So Josh Alexander versus Eddie. Now we're all big fans of Eddie, aren't we? I think Eddie's a great guy in general.
Yeah,
but like we've had Eddie Edwards on with us in a while. A lot of people reckon Eddie's going to win the belt.
I hope he does.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So there's a lot of stuff. First of all, happening, right? We've got VXT versus Jessica, Tia Valkyrie, Rosemary. We've got Maya Yim versus Mickey James, Mike Bailey versus Frankie Kazarian, Honor No More versus the Motor City Machine Guns. We have Jordynne Grace versus Masha Slamovic, Josh Alexander versus Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers versus To Be Determined. That'll be interesting. The Impact Digital Media Championship. Call your shot. A 20 wrestler intergender battle royal. That'll be fun for the fans as well. So first of all, we have 8 matches announced, Phil. We're going to talk Josh Alexander versus Eddie Edwards, the Impact World Championship on the line. What's your thoughts on that?
I'd love Eddie to win. It's been building for a while, and Josh Alexander, as I absolutely love this year, had good matches, but I think it's time for a change.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love Josh, and I think he should be pushed to the moon. But the last few weeks and a few months, he's just, I don't want to say just lingering, but he is kind of. There's nothing. He's not really doing much. There's not really a big storyline for him. Yeah. Even this whole thing with Honor No More is just kind of matches and kind of not really, there's no real proper story to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, look, he's a current and 2-time Impact champion. He's an X Division champion, a World Tag Team champion, a 9 Triple Crown champion, Impact. Yeah, he's won all the awards that you can win,
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me. So absolute hair fever today here, Jesus. But it's going to be interesting to see what does happen. Obviously, his contract's not up for a while, I believe.
Oh yeah, like Josh Alexander only recently came back, so
yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good match. A lot of people going towards Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
Bless me. But
it'll be good.
Jesus, hair fever here.
One of those days, and the weather's shocking outside as well.
It is. Jesus Christ. But anyway, there's more matches, so we'll go through the rest. Obviously, we have we're going to talk Jordynne Grace versus Masha Slamovic. That could be the time that Masha actually wins, my man.
Yeah, she has to.
She's been built for a long time, It's the Knockout Sport Championship.
8 months. Yeah, she's been built up for 8 months, I think. Not putting it on her is criminal, so they will.
Yeah. Obviously, Maya Yim versus Mickey James. I think Mickey's going to take the loss there. Career-threatening match.
I don't know, will she, though?
Like, Mickey, now at this stage, that she's been around a long time, but is she going to have a more role backstage? Like, she's 43.
She will.
She's had an incredible career.
This is a big storyline though. If she loses, she's gone. And with Mia Yim's contract coming up, I can't see Mia Yim losing or Mia Yim winning.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, there's so much happening. Obviously, we have Brian Myers. Who's going to be that opponent, that open challenge?
Love Zack Ryder.
Yeah, it probably will be, I'd say.
He's probably due back, so
definitely. And obviously that 20 wrestler intergender battle royal. Do you reckon we'll see anything? Like obviously the winner gets a championship match, Phil. That's pretty interesting.
That's the big thing. Moose won it last year. So I hope Steve Macklin wins it.
He's well overdue, doesn't he?
He is, yeah. 100%.
Definitely. VXT, Chelsea Green and Deanna versus Jessica Taya Valkyrie. Who wins that one?
It's a very hard one to call because I would say Deanna should win, but you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Deanna, I'd say.
I love it. It's a good take. I take Deanna as well, and Chelsea.
Winner.
What about Mike Bailey and Frankie? Frankie's still going tough. He's around a long time, Frankie.
He's so good as well. And Mike Bailey's got unfinished business, so I'd say Mike.
Love it. And we have to mention quickly, where are we? On No More. So Matt Taven, obviously Mike Bennett versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Sheedy and Chris Sabin.
Motor City Machine Guns. I was only thinking about the other day. I think all of those guys on No More, all their contracts are all coming to an end. Yeah,
it's interesting. There's a lot of stuff happening in Impact. As you said, there's a lot of contracts going to come to an end. So what will happen? Well, who's going to go where? What will happen? It remains to be seen.
That's a lot of contracts. But the good thing about that is a lot of new people will start coming in. And they need
will.
That.
Yeah. I wonder where Sesh Martinez is going to go.
NXT Europe, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's calling, isn't it? It really is calling. But it's going to be a good one. It's obviously New York, October 7th. So we obviously have Extreme Rules the next day then as well. So it's interesting, Phil. Some good wrestling this October. Anything else we want to mention before we wrap up?
I suppose just you mentioned wrestling in October. There's two big things actually that I just saw earlier. OTT at the end of the month,
which will be huge, absolutely huge.
Anniversary show.
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years, yeah.
It's
crazy. 8 years.
8 beautiful years. We've been lucky enough to see it from day one, but it's what can we say about Over the Top Wrestling? You know, Joe and the team have put in some incredible work. We've seen the best of the best wrestle at OTT. You know, we've seen, you know what I mean, anyone from Walter, you know what I mean, we've seen MJF, you know what I mean, we've seen, you know what I mean, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. It's they keep giving, and I know
Mike Bailey, all these.
Yeah, they spot them, you know what I mean. But it's probably fair to say anyone in attendance for the 8th anniversary will be in for a right treat.
And this year it's extra special because they have a few nights of.
They do. Together. They're in Wolverhampton too in England, so we want to wish Joe and the OTT team that work very hard around the clock all the best. You know, in regards to the 8th anniversary and the lead up to that and all the shows, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I miss Bobby George. If you remember Bobby George, the dart player, he was there. You know, that was a great gimmick back in the day. But we want to wish OTT all the best. So yet again, guys. Yeah. Sorry.
The one last thing I wanted to plug as well, that because this show is going out tonight, and tickets for RCW.
RC Dub.
On Monday.
RC Dub. So Phil, what you reckon? It's going to be game changing.
All Cork based promotion, as Billy was telling us. Tickets on sale Monday for the Keno show, November.
It's going to be incredible.
Trying to get another sellout for this.
They will. The Cork following's incredible. It really is incredible. So, RC Dub. I cannot wait. So yeah, that's it, guys. We're going to wrap up the show. Big thank you to everyone that has tuned into all our shows. I think we've surpassed over 100,000 views now on our YouTube channel, which is good. I think it's taken a year, but look, that's great. We're happy. We're thrilled. As always, please subscribe to our channel. We don't really promote the subscribing, which is kind of stupid. We should really promote that. But if you can subscribe, we'd appreciate it as always. And do check us out on Twitter. It's at Slam Wrestles. So from myself, Jerry, and from Phil, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it as always. The team will be back next week. Until then, goodbye, God bless, and be safe. And stay tuned to WrestleSlam, the podcast.